our spirit? What is it? Where does it go? Are we able to see them using our mind's eye? If so, just what can spirit teach us? Welcome to School Through Spirit. Host DeEtte Renee is a certified psychic medium and master teacher of psychic and mediumship development through LWISSD. DeEtte was born knowing spirit and now is here to help you better understand the spirit world. And now your host, DeEtte Renee.
Everybody, this is DeEtte here on School Through Spirit with the Edge Network, coming to you every Monday morning, bringing awareness through spirit. As always, just to try to help our lives a little bit, maybe a little bit of understanding, answering questions that I can for those who want to know. So, good morning, Keith. Good morning, Tim. As always, oh my gosh, my nose itches right off the bat. As always, guys, we're going to start with a little bit of Neil Donald Walsh. Why? Because he inspires me. Not to mention, he is marking 30 years anniversary of Conversations with God. So that is something that has definitely stood the test of time and is still going. And I think in 30 more years, he will still be here and he'll still be strong. Our 5-card stud today comes to us from Susan Walter Art. It is the 72 Angels of Divine Angelic Wisdom deck. And I do believe this is self-published because I'm not seeing anything on there. So I do believe she's self-published, which is really extraordinary to me. So we'll get to these in a bit. Let's start out with a little bit of Neil and see where we're going. Oh my gosh, my nose. My nose. For that, I have to do a little bit of sharing of stuff. Oh my gosh, I just realized I keep every tab open apparently. Just trying to find the show on another network and then literally bring it up onto my own so that those that always want to watch it or find it can find it. If not, we struggle. And I hear about it later and I don't want to hear about it later. So there you go. And then we got to tag a few people. If I know how to spell, we will tag. There we go. Perfect. It is all ready to rock and roll. Let's see where we're doing, where we're going here. So let's get back to Neil. Sorry for that disruption because I was not. It's really weird having the new Facebook. Everything is a little bit more difficult than I wished it to be, but it's okay. So very little words today. Very little words. Beautiful picture as always. It says, it can prove hard to honor your feelings, because we have labeled growth as trouble and standing still as safe. But you must not filter every feeling through the machinery of the mind, because I tell you this, your feelings will never get you into trouble because your feelings are your truth. Boy, if that isn't, that is a mouthful, and that is so true. But I do think I want to extend this. I want to push it a little bit further because, yes, our feelings are our truth. But unfortunately, we don't always know what our feelings are. So let's kind of elaborate on that one. And I think, off with the light, apparently. I don't know what's going on. There you go. Now you might be able to see me a little bit. So let's look at feelings. Let's break this down and kind of move backwards. Okay, so feelings. When we get into that, I don't think we always know exactly what we're feeling, quite honestly. And I never thought this until I started having grandchildren and looking at things a little bit different than I ever had before. And what I mean by that is, as I raised my own children, I would tell them, stop being mad, stop being angry, stop being frustrated. What the heck? What are you feeling? But I never broke down feelings. I never broke down them, what they are, and how big feelings can be. How big feelings can be. So as we're going on with the grandchildren, I really got the privilege of watching their mom and dad working with them for myself to learn something. Because in our household, we have them talk about their feelings. What are you feeling? What is going on? But we don't accept that I'm just angry. We don't accept that I'm just mad. We really have them kind of break those feelings down because we really want the truth. We want them to know the truth of them and to understand them. Because again, so often we throw our feelings into a big cesspool of one word or another. And really, that keeps us in a place that we don't want to be. When we just say we're angry, we stay angry. But if we break that down and say, okay, why are we angry? Are we frustrated? Are we disappointed? What is it we are actually feeling? Okay. So I think first to get to that aspect of honoring our feelings, you have to break them down. We really do. What are you frustrated about? Let's break it down. It doesn't make the frustration go away. You actually are honoring the feeling by doing that. Okay. We're honoring it. It's helping us. We're feeling it. We're giving our time ourselves that ability to feel, to express, to sit in that emotion that we are having. And that becomes a beautiful, beautiful thing. Now, let's get to some of those feelings that are harder. And I'm going to say it, joy. I know, and everybody's going, joy is not hard. Yeah, joy is a very hard feeling to sit in. It's an uncomfortable feeling for most of us. Is it a feeling we want to have? Yes. Do we know what it is? Not necessarily. But do we all want it? Yes, we do. But again, it's a hard feeling to sit in. Why? Because it is an extreme. What are our two if you took a line and you put the feelings on it, what is our top feeling? What is our lowest feeling? Anger is going to sit there at the very far end, or maybe devastation is going to be really over here. Joy is going to be on the opposite side of that spectrum. And that becomes very difficult. Why? Because opposites of the spectrum are very hard to sit in. Joy is amazing, but can almost be painful to feel. And what I mean by that is because happiness is easy. Happiness is easy. Joy becomes that it's pushing to an extreme. It's pushing to an enlightened feeling that we want to have, but it's painful to let go to allow ourselves to have that. What I mean by that is we are taught not to necessarily allow ourselves to have that, not necessarily to sit in that space that is just totally amazingly awesomeness because we don't feel we necessarily deserve it. It's not a safe place. It's not, if you get too high, we get knocked down. So the extremes become very difficult. Now, when we start to look at the emotions in between, there's an array of them. There's an array, and it really does go from anger all the way up to joy, and there's just a multitude of in the middle. But again, we don't necessarily honor those feelings. We don't look to those feelings. We don't live our life by feelings. We live our life by tasks. We have to get up. We have to go to work. We have to make our phone calls. We have to pay our bills. We have to make dinner. The list goes on of the have-tos, and we don't necessarily spend time how we're feeling. And quite frankly, if you had to go through your day and describe each moment of the day through an essence of a feeling, would you even know what it is? Probably not. Why? Because we're not taught to express those feelings. Do you see where I'm getting at? We have all these feelings, and truly, the only feelings really I see on an everyday are people expressing anger and people expressing maybe laughter or a moment of happiness. Now, feelings are our truth. Our ideas, our thoughts are not our truth. Our feelings are. What are you feeling right now? Because our body, I hate to take this into the psychic mediumship realm, but our body is our tool how to navigate life. This is our tool. This is what we're working with. This is what we're given. I express so often to so many younger people or people coming into the psychic mediumship world to get to know your body, understand its baseline, and start to work with it, because the very first ability you ever had was feeling. It really is. I feel hungry. I feel happy. I feel sad. You look at a baby and how do you describe them? You describe them by what you think they're feeling. And a baby speaks through its emotion, through its cries. So often we look at the simplest tasks. Now let's take this back a little bit. And how I can prove this is because quite often a mother will say, I know my baby's cries. I know my baby's cries. That's how I know what it wants. That's hogwash. It's a lot of hogwash. Why? Because we can put a baby crying on here. I can put a lot of babies crying on here. And nobody's going to be able to tell the difference between one cry and another cry. Quite frankly, we're not going to know. A mother won't even know. Okay? But what a mother does is she opens her own emotional centers to allow herself to feel her baby's emotional centers. And she goes on feelings. My baby feels hungry. My baby feels wet. My baby feels like it needs to burp. My baby feels like it's stir crazy. Mothers know by feeling. Again, when they trust their feelings, they're able to take care of their babies better the way the babies want to be taken care of. Because again, it's a feeling. See what I'm getting at? Guys, we look at feelings and we always just put them in one character. We only ever put them as one character, and then we blow them off. When we start to look at our feelings, when we start to look at not just the feelings of joy and happiness to anger and frustration and devastation and all of those, we start to look at the array of feelings, whether it be an emotional feeling or a physical feeling. Feelings are truth. You can live your life through the sense of feeling. Okay? And I know this gets kind of confusing because you're like, DeEtte, you're all over the place. Well, I am. And I'll be the first one to admit that I am, because quite frankly, the feeling world is a huge aspect that we blow off. We don't give it any amount of stating that it is fact to us. We throw feelings into the pit of opinions when truly feeling is the only truth you have. Quite frankly, not that long ago, just over this year, you've heard me talk about a store I was going to open over this year. In the very beginning of this, I was very much, I don't know if I should do this type of feeling. Okay. And then I gave myself, I'm going to talk myself into the excitement of it. And I became excited about it with this undergoing, well, maybe I shouldn't do this feeling. But I didn't want to give that any energy. I didn't want to give that first feeling any truth. So I pushed myself into feeling something else. And as I went on the journey of this store, I found myself slowing down. There was really no reason for me not to have the store up and going by probably March 1st, March 15th, April 1st at the very latest, the very, very latest. I gave myself this whole, where do I go? What do I do? Type of thing. Why? Because I was ignoring my feelings. I was ignoring the only truth I had, which was coming from me. I was trying to force myself into something that maybe wasn't quite right. Finally, just before May, I started to get some proof in the puddings of what my original feelings were. And I had to look at those feelings. I had to look at what is it I am feeling? What is the truth of what is happening here? And when I looked in it and I took the mask of everything I was trying to force and looked at the bottom down feelings of what I was having, I started to realize that it was not something I was supposed to be doing. And I think when I look back, I got that initial feeling right off the bat, like, no, This doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel right. This is not something I should be going forward with. But I ignored them. But when it came back around to the end, I found out that my initial feeling was the truth I should have been following. I should have been following that initial truth. Because my body told me. My mind was saying, this is a great deal. My mind was saying, you need to go forward with this. This is going to take you someplace. All the while, my heart and my body was going, probably not. Now, which one's correct? I will tell you, my head was wrong. My heart, my body was right. And I think when we go about life, when we go through life, we start to realize that when we honor what we're feeling, it really is the better way to go. It's not always safe because feelings are very uncomfortable. Okay. And I think that's why we like to sit in the aspect of safety, which is void of feelings. Safety is, again, those harder emotions, that the anger, just the laughter. That's safe. That's going, oh, I'll get over this. I will go on. Honoring our feelings, honoring what we're feeling to navigate life becomes very difficult. So often we'll get an uncomfortable feeling, this uncomfortableness that we're like, I don't know if I want to push into that. I don't know if I want to embrace that. I want to let go of that. I want that out of my existence. Why? Because it's uncomfortable. I don't want to feel that. Although you don't even know what it's uncomfortable about. And I will tell you, your body, your heart, your soul will always tell you when you're not supposed to do something versus something being uncomfortable. Uncomfortability comes growth. I tell people so often, let's go to the uncomfort zone. Let's go there. Let's go sit there until it feels comfortable. Because that's where you're going to find growth. That's where you're going to find yourself being able to kind of push into new existences, new places of being. Because so often we don't go there because it doesn't feel safe. It doesn't feel like I belong there. Now, this year, just for an example, I spoke at the very beginning of the year about something I was going to push through. And it was I was going to push into my fears. When I had a fear, I was going to push into it. I was going to delve into it. I was going to go, oh, this is uncomfortable. I'm afraid of it. I'm afraid because it's unknown. I don't understand it. So therefore, I'm going to push into it and make it become known to me so I no longer have the fear. Okay. And I've done that with every step this year. Every single step I have pushed. Every time I feel a sense of fear, I go, nope, I'm going to push into this. I'm going to go forward. And lo and behold, it's worked. It's worked. I've had myself in a lot of precarious, uncomfortable situations where my whole body, my whole being is going, I don't like this right now. I don't feel comfortable. I don't feel safe. But on the other side of that uncomfortable, safe feeling is growth. It's maturity. It's lifting ourselves up. And I know a lot of times people don't quite understand that. And I get that. But I want to take you back to maybe your childhood. Learning how to ride a bike. You're afraid of it because you don't understand it. It's uncomfortable because you've never done it. I'm excited because it looks fun. A whole array of emotions, a whole array of feelings. But when you push into that, you hold on to it and you embrace the truth of the excitement that this is something I want to do, something that tells me every part of my being says, I need to go do this. And you learned. And as a child, once you learn, the exhilaration of flying on your bike is the best feeling in the world. Now let's take that same sense of feeling, that same process of feeling, and let's look at a rattlesnake then. You might look at that and you hear the noises and you go, oh boy, terrified here. Don't feel like this is someplace I should be. Every ounce of your being is saying, don't go there. Why? Because you feel it's danger. You feel I shouldn't be there. And you're probably correct. Most definitely correct. Again, your feelings are the truth of the matter. Our body, our soul, our aura is designed to feel. Whether it be emotions, situations, other people, our feeling really is the only truth we have, the only thing that's going to get you through life. How do you feel about this? How do you feel about that? Now, you can, like I said, look into it when you have those feelings. Break them down. If you're not quite sure of them, break them down. Why am I feeling what I'm feeling? It's going to help you to navigate them in better, safe territory. Now, that does not mean break it down in your mind so that you cannot deal with it or not feel it. We're not talking there, because even as it says, when you trust the filter, and the filter is your mind is going to break it down to where, oh my gosh, I'm not going to feel this. So it's not over analyzing it through your filter. It is literally in the very beginning. It really is. I'm feeling anger. Why am I feeling it? Let's break it down. Let's have an understanding. Because that is going to give you a sense of truth. That really is. But there's so often, guys, that we overanalyze. And what we do then is we break it down and we get rid of our emotions. We get rid of the feelings. And we put it into a theory, a logical, analytical situation, which now can really spell a disaster. So often, I want to take you into a story where I can truly explain to you the difference between analytical versus just taking your gut reaction. And there's a beautiful person in my life that had a tragic car accident many years, almost 2 decades ago. Not quite, but almost. We're coming close on it. And I can remember talking to the emergency room, the head of the emergency room, the doctor that had worked on her. And he said he sat there and was flabbergasted by how he acted when she came into the emergency room. He was flabbergasted. Because for 19 years that he was the head of that emergency room, he only ever worked analytically. He only ever worked by facts, by textbook. He never once took his gut feeling and ran with it. Not once. He always analyzed everything. And honestly, that makes a phenomenal emergency room doctor. What took him to the next level of brilliance is a story that he told me after the fact. And this was literally a few months after the fact, after the hospital stays were over and whatnot. And I had the chance to speak with him. And he told me for the first time in 19 years, he went with his gut. And I said, what does that mean? And he said, when she came into the emergency room, and I didn't know what was going on, the first thing I did was did an ultrasound. He said, I started looking over, I started doing everything, all the things that doctors do to assess the patient. And one of those things, because the pulse and the blood pressure was so faint, it was there, but so faint, was to take an ultrasound of the heart center, of the heart. And when he did that, he's seen nothing but blood in the pericardium, which is the sac around the heart. Nothing but fluid, nothing but blood. Now, what he told me is textbook analytical thinking, tried and true. He was supposed to open up and crack the chest, basically put a plug in the heart to stop the bleeding. But his gut, his feeling told him don't. His feeling said, send for CAT scan and get to surgery. Do not open up here. And for the first time in 19 years, he followed his gut. He followed his feeling. And I said, what is the difference between analytically what you were thinking, what you should have done, or textbooks said you should do in the emergency room versus your gut? And he said, textbook would have killed her. If I would have followed analytically, he said, if I would have taken my gut and shoved it up to my brain and thought about it, I would have went, this is ridiculous. Textbook does this. I can take care of it here. He said, but my gut told me, if I do it here, she's dead. So instead, he went with his gut for the first time. He went with his feeling. And his feeling was correct, because he found out there wasn't not one, but there was 2 holes in the heart. And pretty much in her aorta was pretty much almost completely ripped away. And honestly, if he would have opened up, she would have been dead within moments. So that feeling, the feeling was truth. All the knowledge, all the analytical, everything else went out the door. And the feeling is what stood up in the end. Now, today I've given you all over the place array of where feelings are at. Because so often we want to stick with just the feeling of happiness versus sadness. But we don't realize that our body every day throughout the day gives us a million feelings. Not just the emotions, but truly feelings. Feelings of this is right, this is wrong. This is dangerous, this is safe. I should do this, I should do that, I shouldn't do this. Feelings are a vast, huge world that when you start to explore them and you start to experiment and you start to allow this tool you have to do what it was designed to do, you'll start to realize there is no bad decision you will ever make again. Your feelings are never going to be wrong. What will be wrong is if you take your feeling and process it through your brain. That is when you're going to be wrong, and you're going to be wrong every time. So for today and every day, do yourself a beautiful, justified favor and allow your body to start to feel things. Feel danger, feel happiness, feel safety, feel anger, feel it all. The emotions, the non-emotions, the energy. Allow your body to feel it. Find the truth in that. And start to live your life a little bit different. I think you're going to be happy if you do that. Again, another subject that we could have went on for hours and wish I had hours for. Why? Because truly to break it down much more beautifully for you. But hopefully today is just enough to give you a little glimmer, a little sense of maybe I want to research this a little bit more to help you live your life a little bit differently. With that being said, guys, we're going to take a quick station break, and when we come back, we're going to do our 5-card stud. This is DeEtte here on School Through Spirit. See you in a few minutes.
Elevate your consciousness with each issue of the Edge magazine delivered straight to your doorstep. Immerse yourself in a community of curious teachers and seekers dedicated to the collective growth and understanding. Each glossy edition is a portal to expand awareness, featuring the latest in metaphysical and holistic products, services, events, and books. Let our engaging articles and comprehensive practitioner directory guide you on your journey towards higher consciousness. With every issue, raise your vibration and deepen your connection to the universe, one enlightening read at a time. Subscribe today at edgemagazine.net/subscribe and embark on a transformative exploration here, there, and everywhere. Join us at the Souls of Spirit Spiritual and Holistic Expos as a part of your spiritual awakening journey. Get ready for a day of enlightenment and exploration at one of our upcoming expos. Our events are where all things spiritual and holistic come to life. Experience a diverse range of vendors offering healing jewelry, natural products, and metaphysical merchandise. Immerse yourself in the mystical arts guided by mediums, psychics, and Reiki practitioners. Interact with energy healers and health professionals ready to provide rejuvenating services. Be one of the first 25 attendees and receive a fantastic gift bag full of treasures from participating vendors. Bring your loved ones along. These family-friendly events have something special for everyone. The $5 entry fee includes educational speakers and up to 40 vendor booths. Mediumship group gallery is just $25. Free expo admission for those under 12 or showing military ID. Find out more about upcoming events in North, South Dakota, and Montana at soulsofspiritexpos.com.
Hello, welcome back to School Through Spirit with the Edge Network, coming to you with our 5-card stud. 5-card stud. Oh my God. Picking one. Got lots now. So this is the 72 Angels of the Divine Angelic Wisdom deck by Susan Walter Art. Let's get into it. Let's get into it. Let's open this up. I will tell you what. We all know I don't like these boxes. These boxes are horrendous. But you see that little tab there on both sides? If you're going to do the box, cut that in. Why? It makes it looser to lift up. That's why. Looser to lift up. God, they smell brand new. Kind of delicious in a way. It's like having a good book for those people that love to read. But if you're going to do a straightforward box, put those little tabbies in there. Why? It gives hands like mine that ability to open it much easier. So let's get into this. I should have read the back. I'm sorry. We're going to hold them in there tight. It says, the 72 Angels of the Angelic Wisdom deck, from an intricate grid of spiritual energies that help guide humanity on your spiritual journey. They provide insights into the human condition and the interconnectedness of all beings. By understanding that their messages, that their meanings and attributes, we can unlock a deeper awareness of ourselves and our place in the world. The angels' energies help us understand how our individual lives fit into the greater cosmic design, offering clarity and direction. Angels equal color, equal light language. That's beautiful. So beautiful. You know what? I'm not opposed to a box that's empty, especially for people that are self-publishing. Why? Because all that extra stuff costs a ton of money. And if you don't have a big corporation literally funding a lot of this, but still, the box is beautiful. They've still well thought out box. Why? Because it's easy to open. I love that. So we do have our first card is a card with a QR code. It's the manual download if you want, because this box does not have the manual in it. But if you want the manual, if you want to read by the book, feel free. There's a QR code. I will tell you, if you don't, there's lots of words on this card. There's tons of words. Looks like there's some light language on there. We have got beautiful artwork. We also have some symbolism. There's a whole lot going on here. It's got a simple word at the top. It also have, it looks like pretty much the manuals down below. Kind of like that. So let's look into this. This deck is harder to shuffle. I will tell you what, they didn't think about size. They wanted to put a ton on there, but didn't think. Now, unless you have man hands, doing this is almost an impossibility. I'm going to do it sideways because it's going to be easier for me to hold. So far, that's my only critique on this deck is the sheer size of it is just about a centimeter too big both ways. Both ways. Could have been smaller, just for easier handling. But that really was whatever the decision of the person making it, and that's okay. They may have been making the deck for old eyes. Who knows? Who knows? Maybe Spirit told them to make it that big. Also, I don't know. It was just a decision that I was not privy of, and that's okay. So with 5-card stud, how would we do this? This is why I don't like decks that are too big. You get jumpers. I don't read by jumpers at all in any way, shape, or form, but that's okay. Other people do. But this deck is really going to promote some jumper cards. So 5-card stud, let's play it out. 5-card stud is where I'm going to pick 5 cards, and I'm going to read those cards individually, and then when I get done, I'm going to read the spread as a whole. Now, for you, what you're going to do is you're going to pick a number 1 through 5. Okay? You can pick 1 card, 2 cards. You can pick all the cards. You can pick all the cards plus the full reading. You can have up to 6 readings. And if you really want to do it, You can write down 6 different issues and put a number by each issue. And if you really want to really got a lot of questions, you can write down a ton of different issues or questions and put numbers by all of them. So really, it's limitless how many readings you can have in this. Okay. I think these are shuffled, so I'm going to be able to get them because, again, it's just a harder deck for me to shuffle. So card number 1 is Angel Rochelle, Vision of Wisdom. Vision of Wisdom. See, we've got a yin-yang symbol. I think that's yin-yang. I don't know if that's 69. Sorry. So many symbols. There's a symbol here. There's some light language, some other languages. This says Vision of Wisdom. Rochelle provides direction in our lives, allowing us to understand situations and perceive the truth clearly. Okay. I think I only need to read the first line here just to kind of go, yeah, the Vision of Wisdom really makes sense. So if you pick card number 1, I'm kind of looking at this as an aspect of you're going to have that foresight. You're going to be able to see something much clearer. Like you've been sitting with a situation, not being able to know if you should go right, if you should go left, what you should do with this, okay? Looking at this card, it tells me that you're going to get that clarity, that inner wisdom. It's more than likely going to come from outside of you. I'm not even going to lie. It's going to be coming somebody else. It's going to say something, do something. You're going to see something. You're going to see a billboard, whatever this is. It's going to come from outside of you, but when it comes from outside of you, and it's the inner wisdom that's going to click, that inner clarity, you're going to go, that's what I knew to do with this. So trust that quite literally, the answer to the question is there. It's not far off. Card number 2 is Angel Satel, Strength and Confidence. It says Satel empowers us to confront challenges with strength and confidence while enhancing our focus. Look at how beautiful that is. It's quite interesting because when I look at this angel has got tools. It's got a ruler. It's got, I know it in my head. I can't think of it. It's got lots of tools. It's got lots of tools to kind of learn to calculate and whatnot. But if you notice where the tools are at, they're all blocking. We're blocking the arms. We're blocking the heart center. Lots of blocks, which is telling me you have got something that, you know what, you do need to push through. The tools are there. Everything is there that you need. But you need to push through this. You need to kind of push yourselves to another level. Okay. And that's why the situation is at hand. You're looking at this going, oh my God, why do I have to do this? Why? Because it is building character. It's building strength. It's building you into an uncomfort zone. But trust that is going to help you. It's going to help you to be able to go to another level to where you can sit with a better understanding. Okay. Everything has reason. Card number 3 is Angel Harel. Connection to the divine. Harel creates a direct connection to the creator, serving as a spiritual umbilical cord. She aligns with positive thinking, encouraging us to embrace the light and integrate into our lives, bringing clarity and significant spiritual power. This card shows a lot of fluidity, a lot of movement. And when I'm looking at this card, I'm liking this. Why? Because it's telling me that you're looking at the inner intuition. You're looking at the inner intuition. You're allowing yourself to connect above and bring it below, back and forth. Okay. Which is really where we're supposed to be in life. It's eventually that is where our destination is to have this full connection that we're aware of and be able to, quite frankly, just rock it. So this card is saying that you're going to have this moment moments throughout this week where you're going to find yourself having answers coming from someplace you don't know. You're having that connection from above. You're having that connection from the angels, from spirit, from God, wherever you want to place this, or your loved ones. It's this connection that's going to have this unbelievable sense of knowing, of understanding and growth that maybe you've never felt before. So trust that the answers are going to come from a place that you're not quite sure of. Card number 4, Angelic, the angel Anil, new perspective. Anil empowers us to be successful when life challenges block us, illuminates our path, preventing us from descending into chaos. Quite awesome. I love this. Why? Because when we're looking at new perspective, this is just basically telling you, knock it off, grow up, pick up your pants, look at something in a different way. Why? Because this card is honestly saying, if you pick number 4, you've been looking at something so long, you only see it one way. This card is saying, stop, drop, roll, get up and look at it from a different point of view. Okay. Why? Because when we only look at it from one point of view, we stay stuck. We're not going to grow. We're not going to extend. We're not going to get through the issue. And this card is saying, if you want to get through and you want to resolve some stuff, you have to look at it from a different perspective. Get out of your car, walk around, look at your car from the opposite side, whatever it might be. Go to the other side of the mountain. It's quite different from what your point of view is. So the last card we're looking at today is Angel. Oh my gosh, the words Angel Haboha. It's purification. The light of Haboha name is called upon to assist a peaceful transition. She offers protection and purification, shielding us from both astral and physical parasites. She helps us to emerge stronger from temptations, providing the courage needed to confront dangers and overcome darkness, and elevating the soul. When we're looking at this card, this card is really about transitioning. Let's just put it for what it is. It's the transitioning. Why? Because transitions are hard. It really is. But in order to transition, we're looking at things coming to us in a different way, for us to have a different understanding, to rid ourselves of all the thought processes, all the analytical processes, and really is taking what we've been talking today about the feelings, bringing it to purity of knowledge, purity of understanding which way to go, and helping you to push yourself into that direction. So trust in this card, if you picked number 5, that the process is there, but you really have to go on feeling, understanding on that aspect, and taking your mind out of it, because this is a purification of the body, the mind, and the soul that's going to take you to the next level. Card number 1 was Vision of Wisdom. Card number 2 was Strength and Confidence. Card number 3 was Connection to the Divine. Card number 4 is New Perspective. Card number 5 is Purification. Wow, this is a doozy of the week, because when I'm looking at all these put together, there is some major things happening this week. Tons, major things. Like, these are life-changing week that is happening for those that are really going to be kind of on their toes and aware, and kind of bring themselves into that whole perspective of who they are. Why? Because this week is really going to push you in an uncomfort zone. It's going to push you someplace you've never gone before. But through that, you're going to start to see life a little different. Things are going to kind of pop up. Things are going to happen. Things are going to happen that you're like, oh my gosh, I could have created this and my life dependent. Like, who would have thought this was happening to me? But trust in the transition. Trust in that. It's not going to be a place that you're going, oh my God, this feels great. This is going to feel uncomfortable. This is going to be like, oh my God, I don't know what to do with this. And that's okay. It's okay. Open it, embrace it. It's a connection. The other side is helping you. It's helping to guide you, help you to transitioning. You just have to look at it from not a place of safety where you've been at, but yet a place of growth and understanding. It's a big week, guys. It's a big week. It's a huge week, guys. Okay, with that being said, I like these cards. I do. These cards are kind of cool. Again, they're hard to work with. Why? Because it's a bigger in my hand deck. If you have much bigger hands, it might be easier. If you have smaller hands, this is going to be a really hard deck to work with. I do like the cards because I do like the simplicity in the cards. I do believe this is a deck that can really, you know what, if you give into the angels and you give into that light language, I will tell you what, there's a lot of growth. These cards have got a huge amount of depth in it, especially when you're taking it from the angelic realm with that light language, kind of allowing yourself to go there. These cards are quite deep. They really are quite deep. It's just a matter, are you going to allow yourself to go there? Are you going to allow yourself to work at it? Now, if you notice, I read on the angels and the reading, I did not get into the light language or the symbolism, but quite frankly, you can. So these cards can really have multiple depths, multiple layers, and really can be an astounding deck to work with. I won't even lie. There's a lot of thought in there. And that was the Angelic Wisdom by Susan Walter. And it's Susan Walter Art LLC if you want to look into her stuff. Now this week, where can you find me this week? Oh my God, guys, this week where are we? Number 1, I got a little bit older today. Why? Because my oldest child turned 35 this morning. Oh my gosh. Matter of fact, 35 and pert near 30 minutes, 35 years and 30 minutes, almost 30, 29 minutes. Actually 40 minutes. Gosh, I didn't know my math. Anyway, so where am I at? Well, I'm at a little store called Earth Song in Janesville, Wisconsin. Earth Song Books and Gifts. I'm reading from 10 to 3:30 there this Friday. If you would like to see me locally for a much reduced rate, call now, get your appointment there. I do believe that you can get as long as a half an hour there. They do shorten the appointments there. This Saturday, I'm at Stevens Point, and that's at Earth Song Books and Gifts. Sorry, not Stevens Point, Earth Song Books and Gifts. Stevens Point, Wisconsin. With Metapara Pro Production. It's Beyond the Veil is where I'm at this week. I'm trying to get the actual name of the place for you. Why do I not see it? Why do I not see it? That is so weird. That is so weird. It's not on their thing. Let's see if I can find it. A much better, oh my gosh, this is where we're at. This is what we're doing. We're going to go to current events. Let's see if I can find it. It's not anywhere to be found. That is so weird. Well, as far as I know, I'm at Stevens Point. Where in Stevens Point, I do not know. I'm going to send a message to somebody right now to say, where am I at this week? I'm just sending it to make sure that I can say, hey, I am someplace this week. I do believe I'm in Stevens Point, although I cannot find, I cannot find anything that says that I'm there. It does say that I am there, so it is what it is. We'll find out. Maybe they will message me. If that changes, I'm really sorry. Please look at Metapara Promotions, to find that beautiful information that will be there. Now, also, you will also be able to find me teaching. I am teaching this Sunday at, I don't even know. I need to find the information on that too. I'm telling you, I know I'm going places this week. I'm just not quite sure where I'm going to. I am teaching beginner class, and that beginner's class is in Black River Falls, Wisconsin. That is beginners. It is beginner's psychic mediumship development. I'm like losing my mind here, trying to figure out what I'm saying. We're gonna go here. I seem to be very not with it today. Going, I don't know if I'm coming or going. I'm gonna go to somebody else's page and see if I can find where I'm at on this event. I do know that I'm at, what the heck's the name of it? Oh my God, gosh. Oh my gosh. I feel like I'm all over the place. I need to find out where I'm going, because if I do not know where I'm going, I don't know where to show up to teach. I do know it's in Black River, Wisconsin, is where I'm definitely going to be teaching at this weekend. I love it. I'm trying to give you the address. I apologize. I can't figure this out for the life of me. It is my beginner course. It is $100 for that course up where I'm going. Again, I wish I knew. If you would like to go, you can go to Holista Works LLC, and you can message her to find out more of the great details, or you can message myself and register through me. And we can literally get you going, where to go, what to do, where we're going, the whole 10 yards, but again, it's beginners class. It's amazing. I can't find the address of my life to find it. Guess it is. Apparently I'm not supposed to tell you where to go, which is okay. But it is beginners class. So we do still have some room available for that. At the course, I do believe, I just found it. Rainbow Rock Reiki. It took a lot. Apologize, guys. Rainbow Rock Reiki. It is 25 South 2nd Street, Suite 2 in Black River Falls, Wisconsin. That is where I'm teaching at. If you would like, you can get a hold of myself to literally book yourself to be able to show up. The class is from 10 a.m. until 5 p.m. in the afternoon. Coffee is important. I'll tell you what, Neil, I don't drink coffee, but apparently I needed it this morning because my brain is not awake. So with that being said, I am teaching beginners class, beginner psychic mediumship development this Sunday from 10 to 5, Black River Falls at the Rainbow Rock Reiki Center in Black River Falls, Wisconsin, where we will be diving into all the basics just to kind of figure out what that body is, helping you to teach your body to use that as a barometer to receive all the information that's coming in. You too, Neil. That course is $100 in person. If you show up on that day, if you take it online, it's quite a bit more because it's 2 months worth of work online. But again, we still have some room if you'd like to join that course. It's a phenomenal course. It's a great course to start with. Gosh, we got through it. With that being said, guys, we're going to let you have a beautiful, amazing day. And we will see you next Monday morning, 9 a.m. Central Standard Time, School with Your Spirit with the Edge Network. You guys have a great day. Bye-bye.
There are psychic mediums, but there is nothing like DeEtte. Let's face it, we all struggle time and again. But if you seek the clarity you deserve, then you need to seek DeEtte. As a master teacher, DeEtte studied under international psychic medium Lisa Williams. Together, they not only help DeEtte better tap into spirit, but also build a long-lasting relationship. So many psychics tell us what we want to hear, and that just won't cut it with DeEtte. She tells you what you need to hear. No sugarcoating here. To book a reading with DeEtte is simple. Just visit her website, DeEtte.us. That's DeEtte.us. And follow the Yellow Brick Road to connect with DeEtte. Don't just sit there and ponder those questions. Ask them and let DeEtte guide you every step of the way. You need insight now, and DeEtte can help. Just visit DeEtte.us. That's DeEtte.us.